Hey guys, welcome back to Whitty's Gear Reviews. Today we're going to do a little Temu haul. It's not a huge one, so hopefully we can get through it, but some of these, it's going to take a little time to go over the features. So this is what I got. I've already taken it out of the package. We'll go through them one by one and kind of discuss what I got and maybe some reasons on why I got them. So let's go ahead and move some stuff out of the way and we'll get started with the first item. So the first thing we have here, if you've ever watched any of my other videos, go back. I usually carry these in almost all my fire starting kits. And they're good to have. This is a clone, if you want to say that, of a Exotac furrow rod fire starter system. These things are super cheap. They're just calling this on Temu the mini fire starter. These things are $2.93, but what you get is you get your little striker there, which is kind of shaped like an I-beam. There you go. You can see it like that, right? And then you get your furrow rod. What I like about these is they're replaceable. Just screw it in there, and then you've got your fire striker. And these things work excellent, guys. For what they cost, these are excellent. Nice little knurling there on the aluminum case. They have O-rings. On both the top and the bottom. So it's going to be nice and watertight. You do have a lanyard hole there and also on the bottom. So you can carry that. You can hook it to a bag. Anything like that. I think it's great to have these as a backup. Of course, yeah, you want instant gratification. So carry you a Bic lighter. Anything like that. But to have a backup plan, these things are excellent. They're made really well. This is, I think, my 5th one that I have. All the other ones I have are in orange. This was the first green one that I've got. These things are great. They work good. They're well made. Really good for $2.93, guys. So, first thing we got. The next thing, I was looking for this, something like this, but this is basically glow-in-the-dark tape. It's like a 3M glow-in-the-dark tape. The reason why I got this tape, guys, is anytime you're going camping, you always set something down and you may not be able to find it. Usually most of the campsites you can't check in till 2 or 3 o'clock. In the fall, especially in the fall, it gets dark at about 5:45. So, you know, you lose daylight on that first day, that setup day, right? You're trying to set up camp, trying to get dinner made for the evening, get everything settled. And you set stuff down, you're still unpacking, still trying to get your tent set up, and you could set something down and be looking for it for 30 minutes and not be able to find it. One good thing about the glow-in-the-dark tape is if you can't find it, sooner or later it's going to start glowing, and then you'll see where it's at. Or if you drop it in the brush, the bush, or anything like that, you'll be able to go find it because it'll start glowing. And it doesn't take a lot. I'm not saying take your bag from a gray man bag or a stealth bag to where in the middle of the night you don't want anybody to see you. I'm saying on the components on the inside, things that you really need, water bottles, things like that. If you're humping through the woods and say you're in an evasion situation, you've got your water on the outside of your pack, you slide down, you know, a cliffside or whatever, and you lose it. Well, you're not going to want to go back in daylight if people are following you, so you're going to go back later. You may be able to go back, and if you have a small piece of this that glows, you're going to know what it is. They may not. You may be able to go back and find it. But also keep in your head that if they do know what it is and they're able to see it, they're going to post up somewhere around that area and see if you come back. So there's positives and negatives, but that's in that worst case scenario. In day-to-day usage, you could put this on anything, right? Anything that you want to glow to be able to find it. You can use it to mark trails. You know, just take a small piece, cut it off, stick it on a tree, go out, do your thing. Later you come back and you can navigate back through like breadcrumbs, glow-in-the-dark breadcrumbs. But this stuff's waterproof. It's, you know, really durable. You can use it for all different scenarios, for, like I said, marking trails, marking gear. You can take it hiking, camping, hunting, fishing, anything that you want to mark. Like this, for instance. I could wrap a small piece, 1/4 inch, around the center of that, right there where it's flat, and go back and find it. This stuff is 1 inch. It's a little over 1 inch by 10 foot long. So you got 10 foot of this glow-in-the-dark tape. I think it's a good thing. I was looking for something like that. I found a lot of small little stickers, and then I would have to cut them. This, at least, it's a big roll, and if I want to put something bigger on, I can. If not, then I can cut it to size. So, not a bad idea to have some glow-in-the-dark tape. Now, the next thing we're going to look at, I did a short on this. I love the boxing, right? I've already taken this out of the pack, because like I said, I did a short video. If you want to see that, go back and look at it. I own several of these knives. This company's knives. I own 3 of this exact knife. And I've got one in a bag that I don't want to come out. I'm going to put one in another bag. But when I saw this one, this more of a flame micarta, I was like, man, I don't have that one. I'm going to have to get it. So this is the SDOK EDC fishing game knife. This thing comes in multiple colors. You could get a black G10 with a black blade. You can get an orange G10. You could get a black micarta, and then you could get this orange micarta, which I think this is just stunning looking. This is going to be a camp knife. Easy to find, nice and bright, and it's just something a little bit different. You can see it's got that black stonewash finish, little logoing right there. Great hardware. Fits really good in the hands for such a small knife. It's just made to carve and slice and do stuff like that. This one does come in the DC53 steel. There's a lot of reviews on the hardening process they use. Everybody, or most people, know that DC53 is a step above D2. Which D2, if it's heat treated right, is a great steel for a knife. And this is no different. You've got that nice little finger troll right there that just kind of locks your finger and your thumb into place right there. And it just has that great feeling for if you were skinning or carving, anything like that. Even if you're just cutting, like cutting a piece of meat off or piece of cordage, it just feels really good in the hand. I've got bigger hands, and this is a smaller handle style, but it doesn't feel bad. I mean, the little roundness it has to it, it just feels comfortable in the hand. You would have to hold it, you know, to understand, but I just love the way these knives feel. I love the way they perform, and particularly I got this one because I love the way it looked. I love that orange, yellow, and red micarta. The fit and finish on these knives, guys, is beautiful. They are super sharp. A little pack here, but super sharp, super slicey. I mean, this is uneven, kind of like a bag, right? And it just slices right through that thing. I mean, look at all the pieces coming off. Let's see if we can slice down through there. We'll get to this tag. I mean, not a problem at all slicing. I mean, we made mincemeat out of that. I just think, all in all, they're good knives. You can cut little curves. Good, sharp, right out of the box. Hold an edge well. Very corrosion resistant. Just great all together, all around knives for that outdoors person. Anything like that. Now, what do you think a knife like this would cost? For one, you're getting a Kydex taco sheath with a little lanyard hole there, so you could wear this as a neck knife. I know some of the complaints by some people that have seen this before say that it's a little overkill with the size of my micarta. You could round this off a little rounder if you want to take some of that extra micarta off, but it's made to be worn, on your belt. This is a reversible tech lock. You just have your little tech lock there. You can take these little spacers out for the size of your belt. So if you don't want it to move around, you can take these all the way out to allow some movement, or you can go across all the different holes there to try to narrow it down to your belt size if you want it more stationary. But like I said, you can just undo these two screws, flip them over to the other side, and you can carry left or right hand. Guys, I can't advocate for this company enough. All this stuff I bought with my own money. I don't think SDOK EDC thinks I don't even know if they know I'm alive or even have a channel. I'm going to advocate for this knife with y'all as much as I can because they're great knives. Love the knife. Love everything about it. The biggest thing is, hey, this was the Temu find. So what do I bring you? I bring you cheap things that are well made. This knife right now is $15.47. $15, guys. You're looking at that blew up the internet at $10. And this is a good knife. I haven't had no problems with any of mine. Now that they're out there, you have your haters that say they're junk. It depends what you're using it for, guys. If you're trying to cut yourself out of a car with it, yeah, you're probably going to break it. If you're using it as it's intended, everyday use, right? It's an everyday carry knife. Come on, what are you really cutting with it? But still sharp, still durable. But this Kydex sheath fixed blade DC53 steel, micarta handles, $15. If you told me I could only buy one and you handed me a $20 bill, I can tell you where I'm going to put my money. I'm going to go right here. It is small enough to carry it as your everyday carry. Now, it doesn't fold down. Yes, you're going to have to put it on a belt. Or you can wear it on your neck. Take this off. It's going to be a slim profile. You could wear it on your neck underneath the t-shirt. And if somebody's looking, they might know you have it. But most people aren't going to know it's even there. So, guys, like I said, not a bad deal for $15.47. Comes in several different colors. But this is just a good all-around camp knife, all-around everyday carry. As much as I can, I much rather carry an everyday carry fixed blade than a folder. Just simply because if I need to do heavy work and put a lot of pressure on the front of that blade, I can do that with a full tank fixed blade. Not as much on a folding knife. But if you want to look at the knife itself, you're looking at a little bit over a 2.5-inch blade. It's 2.68. Overall, tip to tail on this knife, you're looking at 7.12. No wiggle at all in that Kydex sheath. That knife is not going to come out of there. I feel confident you can wear it upside down on your neck, on your hip, throw it on the outside of a small pack. Guys, if you like to fish, throw this on the side of your tackle box. Perfect size for doing stuff like that. Just having an everyday small fixed blade. Like I said, I'll keep advocating for those knives. They're really good knives for the money. Now, the last thing, it's going to take a little time. I went through those fairly quick because I knew the last one, there'll be some explaining. I've been looking at these for a long time. I've seen some reviews on this particular one, and that's what prompted me to go ahead and buy one. Now, guys, you could probably look on Amazon. You could probably get real close to the price, but I couldn't find this exact one. You may have better luck. But this is by a company called DexScout, DEXSCOUT. And your model number is, I think that's 376WB. So you might be able to use those as cross-reference. What I like about this thing, and it's not in here, guys. I've already taken it out because for one, I wanted to try it out. For two, I wanted to charge it, make sure it was 100% charged before we did this video. But this is an emergency radio, so it's going to get you your NOAA weather bands, and there's several different channels. So inside, you're going to have your owner's manual. I like this nice little drawstring carrying bag. Seems really well made. It's a good fabric. Seems like a water-resistant fabric. You're going to have your charging cable, which one thing I like is the cable's dual purpose, right? I can use it to charge the radio, and I can also use it to charge my phone from the radio. And it's just a USB-A to USB-C. It's a long enough cord so you can reach it to something. It gives you two of these. I don't know if that's by mistake, because it only has one connection and it's only one item, but hey, you got two of these carrying handles. And then, I thought that was pretty cool. They gave you a little compass. And should be going back to my right corner, which is true north here. So this is actually a pretty good one. If you'll notice, as I get up here, the MagSafe on the phone that I'm charging off of starts moving the compass. But right now, down here, it's facing right. That compass does work. There are no bubbles in there. Good little compass. I think you can just put it on this little carrying handle. I'd have to try that out. Let's see. So you always have it. Oh yeah, this flexes. I just got to be able to get my fingers up underneath there and get the thing to come out. There you go. So you can carry it like that, and you've got a compass on your weather station. I call it the weather station. They're actually calling this the multi-function outdoor emergency radio with LED light, FM, or AM, FM weather band radio. So let's get into some of the, let's look at the radio for one. Put all this stuff back in the box because we shall not need it for the rest of this. All right. Take it off the charger. For one, you can see you've got your 25%, 50%, 75, and 100. Your tuning, you've got your band, tune, negative, positive, up or down, however, your alert, your volume controls, your SOS, which we'll get into that. You can see the SOS. And then the power, your speaker, your light, interesting feature, and up underneath there, another interesting feature, which we'll get into those bit by bit. Now, again, this is a Deck Scout 5,000 milliamp hour solar and hand crank emergency weather radio. That's a mouthful. This thing comes in the gray, also comes in green and red. Everything I have is green. So I was just trying to pick a different color. But it looks simple. It's small. It's not super, heavy. It's not like it's a big battery pack. Like this. This thing is heavy. Right? And this is another great deal. If you want to see a review on this one, let me know. I've taken it on quite a lot of car camping videos, but 5,000 milliamp hour battery. Now, let's get into how, if you were to lose, these things are great for your bug out bag, get home bag. Throw it in your truck. Throw it in your camper, your RV. Take it with you camping. Good to have this stuff. Like the last place we went, one of the last places we went, Livingston State Park. And it's in Livingston, Texas, which is a fairly big city. Had no cell phone service. So if bad weather was coming in, we wouldn't have known it. But if you have something like this, you could just leave it on the weather station, turn it down low, and it'll beep. It'll give you alerts, and you can kind of listen to the weather if weather starts shifting or changing, or if you live in an area where forest fires are prevalent, would really help in that. Where tsunamis, floods, anything like that, something like this, if you just keep it on one of the weather band stations, will let you know. One thing I've noticed about weather band stations, we'll get into that part real quick, is if you're inside, they don't have a very good signal. I've got Bofang radios. If I step out the front of my house, I can pick up the weather band, hear it real good, walk back in the house. I have to put my extended reach antenna on it to hear the weather band inside the house clearly. This is no different, guys. This is no exception to that. Now, some of the things before we get into all the features, you do have your NOAA FM and AM alert channels, which there's multiple. You have 3 modes on your lighting, which is flood, spot, and then a combination of the 2. It has multiple power sources, but internally it has a 18650 internal lithium-ion battery. But you can charge it from your wall with a C-type, the C to USB-A to USB-C charger, so you can charge it through regular 120 at your house. But you can also use that USB-C, plug it into your USB-A port in your car, and charge it 12 volt. So that's 2 different ways you could charge the thing. You got a solar charger on there. Now, in a day, you're probably not going to fully charge this, but set it outside so it's trickle charging itself if you have it set on the weather band, right? If you're just listening to the alerts as they come through. It also has a hand crank. So in last resorts, you see right there, you can hear it. I'm cranking that thing up. And if you got some kids, you can put them on crank duty. But you saw the light come on, which shows that it's getting power. That this is generating electricity. But you also have a way to add 3 AAA batteries. So there's multiple ways, guys. If you were in a bind, you're going to get this thing to work enough to hear the weather. Right? Or enough to just listen to the radio. Radio is also an excellent source of communication in the event that something's going on. Right? Social unrest, hurricanes, anything like that. Just turn it to your normal radio station. They're going to be talking about if it's a local radio station, but you could get more specifics by listening to your weather bands. We're going to turn the thing on. It's going to show us our power level. There we go. So you're going to have that nice little LED digital readout with a backlight. So at night you'll be able to see it. It's nice and crisp. Right now we're on one of the weather bands. It's got your antenna. Old school antenna. You don't see those much anymore, but hey, it's got it. Turn up our volume. And right now we're just getting static. I'm trying to move it to see if I can get it to pick up in the house. A lot of times it won't, but I can step outside and it'll pick up. Then you can flip over to your, let's see here, just for copyright, I'm not going to keep it long on one station, but if you want, very, very good sound of that. Tuning wise,
looking for the deal, but it's also moment together.
Trying to get to a station that I know that sounds decent.
Oxford Radio Village, the iHeartRadio app, presented by BetMGM. Let's get to Jason Stewart with the news.
Turn on the news. This is the Herd Line News.
So, not very bad as far as radio communication, right? Hey, if you're in a situation, you may want to listen to, or out camping or just whatever, you might want to listen to the radio. If you're going somewhere where you don't have shore power, right? Or you can't plug in, you can bring this with you on a camping trip. If you're not hiking far, throw this little radio in. Now you can listen to the weather. You can listen to the ball game. Listen to some music in the evening. You can open this up right here. And boom, you got you a nice little LED reading light. So at night, if you're sitting in your tent, you need a little bit of light to read. Got a nice little LED reading light there. Shuts automatically when you shut it or turns off. Then you've got this light. Boom, you've got your spot, your flood, and now you've got both. So spot, flood, both. You can't see the center come on, but you can kind of see the ring there. Super bright. I like it, guys, because it's 3 modes. See the LED emitters there? Nice light. Then you have your SOS feature, which just kind of gets annoying, but we're going to go ahead and do it. If you needed to get a hold of somebody, you could kick that on, and you got a flashy light and a siren. Hey, just a feature, guys. And it gets pretty loud. I wonder if you can turn it down. No, it is set for that annoying sound. I don't know how loud it's going to be in the video. I'll try to turn that section down if it is loud. But in here, it's making my ears ring. It's pretty loud. But guys, why not, right? Why not have a good emergency radio? You never know what happens when the power goes out, when we lose grid power, when you lose power during a hurricane, flooding, any kind of natural disaster, fires. They're known to knock out power stations and stuff like that. You still have a way to hear important information. What I would recommend is charge it, and then, every so often, check it. Usually my flashlights and stuff that I keep in go bags, about every month, I'll pull them out, charge them. And most of the time, that's all it takes. It may go from 4 bars to 3 bars. Then I'll charge it back up, and it doesn't take long to charge it. All right, she's off. Now, like I said, this is the most expensive thing that I got, but it wasn't that expensive. This was $21. And I think it's worth, to me and my family, every bit of $21 to have an emergency radio. And just for, it's like a luxury item. Listen to the radio. You have some different, features on there. And then you have the ability to crank it, AAA battery, or run off the 18650 battery that's inside. Not bad. And this thing came in, I guess that's the elephant in the room. What did it cost? Again, like I said, $21. $21. I don't think that's bad. It seems well made. I mean, it doesn't feel cheap. Seems like kind of little small handheld radios you used to buy back in the day. Take that thing, throw it in your nice little travel bag. Like I said, glove box, toolbox, camping tote, whatever. It's not super huge, not extremely heavy, not bad. So that's what we got, guys. This was a small little haul. I just seen some things that were in my cart, had some things sitting in my cart, and decided to pull the trigger. because of the pricing at the time that I bought them. And that's your Temu haul. If you look, this is a good little start to a survival kit. Get you a fixed made knife, fire starter, light, radio, and some marking tape. For less than, what, $40? Not a bad start. Anyways, guys, that's all we have for this one. Let me know what you think. Useful? You like it? You can't go wrong at $2.93 or whatever I said it was. Can't go wrong with that for that money. Throw it in your glove box. Throw one in everywhere you can for that money. Like I said, this is my 5th one, I believe. Why do I keep buying them? Because they work. And they're well made. They're super light. And I just like them. Let me see if I can find the orange one. Y'all have never seen. This is just some of my kit stuff, right? When I'm building kits, this is like an overflow of stuff that is not inside kits. There's the orange one. And I have a stacker. They're all full of this kind of stuff. Because if somebody wants a kit, I'm going to build them one. But they're exactly the same. Off of Temu. Sometimes they're $3, $4. This time they were a little less than $3. Not bad options, guys. Anyways, let me know your thoughts. Like always, do us a favor. Like, share, subscribe. I buy this stuff so I can give you different looks at different products and let you know if it's quality stuff at reasonable, if not cheap prices. 3 ways to support the channel: Whitty's Gear, Buy Me a Coffee, memberships. We struggle at all 3 of those, guys. I'm not twisting anybody's arms. If you want to help the channel, 3 great ways to do it. Anyways, guys, leave me a note in the comment what you think about this gear here from Temu. Love y'all. See you on the next one.